WrestleCast podcast starts now.
Sorry about that, folks. My mic was muted. It's your favorite host, Cowboy Bob, coming to you from the WrestleCast podcast headquarters. Tonight, I'm excited to say that we have none other than Justin Kindred Allen, the legacy champion from Wrestling Evolution. And do we got questions for him tonight, folks? I'm going to tell you, if you've got questions, I want you to bring them in. Ask all you want. This is going to be a great show. He's an amazing talent. By the way, I got a few things I want to add real quick. Always like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. We're trying to get that thing out there and promote it. Not only that, my nephew, Christopher Pridgett, he's got to have a heart transplant, folks. It's a sad thing. And so he's got a GoFundMe page up. And I will put the QR code right there in the middle of the screen. If you guys definitely want to go to that and help out, anything to help out, it doesn't matter. We greatly appreciate that. Want to try to keep him around as long as possible, folks. We do appreciate it. With that, no further ado, let's get old Justin right in here. Justin, thank you so much for being on the show. I know you're a busy person. And I tell you, man, I'm glad to have you on the show. It means a lot. Thank you for taking time out of your day to be on WrestleCast podcast.
Hey, Cowboy Bob, I appreciate you having me, my friend.
Not a problem at all. I'll tell you what, man, we're going to jump right into things. I would like for you to tell the folks exactly who you are and how you got into wrestling and what drew you to the sport.
Oh, man, I am Mama Allen's favorite son, Justin Kindred Allen. And, dude, I've been a wrestling fan since I was 9 years old, ever since I saw Triple H return after Legacy broke Batista's arm on Monday Night Raw.
Wow. Yeah, that was exciting. I actually remember that. When you're doing training, Justin, what does a typical day of training look like for you? And how do you prepare for matches like you have at Wrestling Evolution?
Oh, man, well, I'm very grateful to have two great wrestling coaches in JD Drake and Rob Killjoy. They've definitely helped me, push me in a lot of different ways to be able to make sure that when I'm put in that situation like I was against Mason, that I'm able to be able to deliver on the investment that people like Tim Wilcox have put in me. And I'm very grateful for like those opportunities. You know, I'm constantly trying to work out in the gym, trying to get my body in a lot better condition than it has been in the past. And, you know, just so like moments like, you know, February 15th, like they come a lot more common than otherwise.
Yeah, that was an exciting match. I was there. I got to witness that amazing moment. Very, very excited for you taking the win there and becoming the legacy champion. The crowd went crazy. The crowd loves you. The fans love you. And what an amazing moment in history for Wrestling Evolution for you to become the legacy champion. And it was a hard fought match, to tell you the truth.
Oh, dude, that's the toughest match I've ever had. Probably the most important match. And I've been in the ring with a lot of big names, but that match with Mason, that's probably at the very top of the list of biggest matches I've ever been in.
Yeah, it was mind blowing. I had people calling me and asking me if I was going to get you on the show after that, because it was just mind blown. And you know, Miss Cowboy, she was there. She come out of her seat. You know, when you got the one,
right?
When you got that 1, 2, 3, boy, she was out of the seat, cheering, clapping, and excited, and we all were. So were the fans, man. I tell you, it was amazing.
I appreciate everybody's love and support. You know, nothing happens without the fans. None of that. Nothing. February 15th doesn't happen for Justin Kindred Allen if it's not for the Wrestling Evolution fans.
There you go. What was actually going through your mind there at the end of that match when the time was getting close to the end, in the final moments?
Man, I didn't believe any of it was even real until John Harkey, who was the referee, handed me the championship and looked at me and said, "Justin, I have chills, man." And he's refereed for a long time, and he's told me, ever since, like, that's the only match that he's ever refereed that's ever given him a moment like that. And that's like something that I'm gonna, wear as a badge of honor as somebody who grew up, being a fan of this business, being a fan of the sport. To be able to experience a moment like that is something I'll never take for granted.
Yeah. And we guys have also got another show coming up, correct? In March. A matter of fact, what date
March
is
15th, March 15th, the day after my birthday.
Oh, that's going to be great. That's going to be great. Happy early birthday.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, me and Miss Cowboy, we're definitely going to be there and cheering you on for sure. Let me ask you, Justin, what goals and aspirations are you seeking and setting for yourself after this big victory?
Well, right now, the biggest goal in my mind is to beat the Beer City Bruiser on March 15th. Me and him have been booked to wrestle each other almost 6 or 7 times now. And whether it was rain or me breaking my wrist last September, it just hasn't been meant to be. He's been my high school sweetheart, the one that got away. But March 15th, he's not getting away anymore. But besides that, I want to carry the legacy of the Legacy Championship. No pun intended, but I want to make that championship the most important belt at Wrestling Evolution. Now, Mason did a really good job of it. He wrestled some of the very best in the Carolinas. Guys like Jackson Drake, Merrick Donovan, Brent Watts. And when it's all said and done, I want that championship to be, if not as important as the heavyweight championship, maybe a little more if possible.
I think with you winning it, that's exactly where it's headed. That's just my personal opinion. Call me biased, but that's what I believe you're taking it. It's amazing. Missy Childers, we'll jump right in. Missy Childers has a question for you. Who has been your worst opponent?
You got to explain worse. Are we talking about who's beat the crap out of me more? I could say a lot of names, and I'd probably get in trouble if I said many of them.
Well, I'll tell you what. How about we go with who's beat the crap out of you more and who you felt was like the worst opponent in the ring for you?
I'll tell you, so he's definitely the person who's beat the crap out of me the most, but I've probably learned the most, and he's definitely my favorite person to wrestle next to Zay Vega. But the Carolina Reaper, Jackson Drake, who I've been grateful to wrestle twice now. As far as worst person I've ever been in the ring with, I'm not gonna answer that one just because I don't want to bury anybody publicly. Because there's nobody that I've wrestled that I have any personal issues with.
I understand that. What's a misconception that people often have about the wrestling world that you'd like to set straight?
That it's fake. Because I'm telling you, as we're doing this podcast, my wrist that I broke last September is still giving me issues, and it still hurts every day. So yeah, definitely that the wrestling's fake because I have the scars and the wounds and the hospital bills to prove it's not.
Right. Yes. I talk about that a lot on the podcast when it comes to wrestling being fake because it's really irritating. There's nothing fake about it. You guys are taking those bumps. You get injuries and you're out for a substantial amount of time, and sometimes not even that. Sometimes you guys don't even take time off. You put a brace on, you come. I think I've seen you with that brace on before on your wrist.
I still wrestle in the brace. Every time I step in the ring, I train with the brace on just because I've not taken that chance until I can comfortably be in a ring and not worry about my wrist re-breaking. I'm just not taking that chance. I tell you, people who, I remember being a kid and watching wrestling in high school and in middle school, and anytime anybody would find out, they'd always like, "Oh, you watch that fake stuff?" And it's like, no, well, first time I stepped in the wrestling ring and I took my first bump, I was like, well, this definitely ain't the fake stuff.
Right. Yeah. I had a friend of mine years ago, and he was a wrestler. He went by the name of J.R. Scruggs. That was his name, and he went by Dozer. years and years ago. He had a brother that also wrestled named American GI, and JR actually owned his own wrestling ring. We'd go around and he'd rent it out to Tough Man contest. I watched him get his shoulder dislocated in Shelby, and we had to rush him to the Shelby Hospital up there in Shelby, North Carolina. And then I asked him one day, because I was real young. I was like, hey, how about showing me how it feels to be thrown into that turnbuckle? I don't think it's going to be that bad. Oh, man, this guy's 400 pounds, Justin. When he slung me in that turnbuckle, I went in sideways.
Oh, man.
I went in sideways. Boom, straight to the mat. I had no control over it. I was down. Learned real quick that wrestling is very real. Lot of respect for you guys. It takes a lot. It really does. Mr. Childers here says, what promotions have you wrestled for? Good question.
What promotions have I wrestled for? Man, I've wrestled for some of the best places, I think, in the Carolinas. You spoke about American GI. Richie gave me my first start outside of the original place that I trained with, but I also wrestled for APW Chester in Chester, South Carolina, NAWA in the Morganton, Charlotte area. I wrestled for Wrestling Evolution. This Saturday, I'm currently booked to wrestle in Raleigh, North Carolina for a company called Dominant Championship Wrestling.
That's awesome.
March 22nd and Ferguson, North Carolina for Squared Circle Champions Wrestling. I've wrestled, man, if there's a place in the Carolinas, there's very few I haven't wrestled for.
That's great. How about are you going down towards South Carolina any?
I live in South Carolina, man. I wrestle for in South Carolina, like I said, I wrestle for APW Chester. I wrestle for Wrestle Force. I've wrestled up in Charleston at Old School Championship Wrestling a few times. I used to wrestle at Asylum Pro Wrestling, now Explosive Pro Wrestling, I think.
Yeah.
There's a ton of places in South Carolina I've wrestled. I'd love to add some more if there's any that I may be forgetting.
I got you. There's actually a promotion down there that I went to, TWA, LWA down there.
I've wrestled there before. I wrestled Caleb Conley there.
Yeah, great group of guys down there. Great group of guys. I'll be going back down there, I think, in May. Awesome. They're gonna have another show down there, and so can't wait for that. Missy says, "Hey, in McCavill, North Carolina, I watched them brothers get into a legit fight." I guess you're talking about JR and GI. Yeah, there's some tough guys.
Right. Oh, Richie never seemed like anybody to mess with, man.
Exactly. I really enjoyed those guys. They brought me into a lot, man, watching them, and I was young. I was real young. Man, I want to say maybe 18 years old. I'm 48 now, 18 years old, riding around with them and just watching, learning the ropes, and getting to know the business a lot better. So yeah, definitely learned a lot. Dozer, as a matter of fact, had where he had put an application in for WWE. It was WWF at the time, but he had put the application in. So yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. Tell me something else. You said your next match is when again?
So my next match is this Friday at APW Chester. It's me and Christopher Prince defending the APW Chester Tag Team Championships against the Illuminati, Myrick Moore, and Derek Driver. And then Saturday, I'm going to be wrestling at DCW in Raleigh, North Carolina against a guy named Duke O'Connor. Gotcha.
Folks, y'all are not going to want to miss that. If you can get out there, definitely get out and see those shows. I'm telling you what, watching Justin in the ring is amazing. The guy, he can take a hit and he can give a hit. And he's very strong. Very young, strong, powerful guy. Oh, man. I've watched him take a chair shot and get right back up and keep going. I'll be like, yeah, time to go to the dressing room for me.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. It means a lot.
Oh, most definitely. Big JKA fan. I saw a promo where Lexi Steele slapped you. What was that, a stiff? Oh.
that slap. Let's pull the curtain back. That slap gave me a concussion, man. Lexi hits harder than most men I've been in the ring with.
Wow, you hear that, Missy? So he got a concussion out of the deal. Not good. Not ever good. I've seen some guys get some concussions. I've seen guys get concussions and be like, okay, I'm going to go out here to my match, and they've already had the match. So
Right,
it can, it can be real bad. As a matter of fact, that even happened to RVD. He got hit so hard that he was ready to go to the ring.
It happened.
Yeah, for sure.
I could probably count on 2 hands, or maybe count on 1 hand, the amount of concussions that I've had so far, which I'm very grateful for. Not grateful to have the concussions, but that it's only, very few. But they definitely do happen, and they suck.
Yes, they do. In my younger days, I was in tournaments for martial arts, and I suffered some concussions. And oh man, it's bad. It's bad.
Right.
As well as you know.
I usually know when I have one when my neck feels really stiff afterwards, and my head just won't stop hurting.
Yes. It's like a headache that just won't go away.
Right.
Missy says, who is someone that you have real good chemistry with? That's a good question also.
So with that, I would definitely say Zay Vega. That's definitely the person that when I look at the match card and I see that me and him are wrestling on a show, I get extremely happy. Though when we definitely start, when we get in the ring and we start working, it's just like magic. He's the one person that I'll never complain about having to wrestle on a show.
That's awesome.
Even though I hate him and he's a corporate stooge.
I feel that way about Roughneck. I don't know if you know who Roughneck is, Justin, but Roughneck and me, we just don't get along, and we've had our quarrels. And great guy, don't get me wrong, but we butt heads.
Not gonna like everybody. It took me a long time to realize that.
Yeah, for sure. Matter of fact, I'll be seeing Roughneck in May down there at TWA. He was upset the last time I showed up. Here we go.
Hey, like I said, you're not gonna like everybody. Not everybody's gonna like you, but we all got a job to do.
That's exactly right. Missy says, remind us what your first tag team partner's name was.
First tag team partner, his name is forgotten and never to be discussed again because, well, he doesn't matter at this point.
There you go, Missy. There you go. He's not letting that one out the bag. It's a done deal. I apologize.
Never return.
That's it. Never to return. Oh, man. I'm looking forward to Wrestling Evolution March the 15th.
Man, like I said, I've been booked to Wrestle Beer City a lot, and I'm really grateful that it's finally going to happen March 15th. And I really think me and him are going to house down, and hopefully I can prove to a lot of people that I deserve to be in the spot that I am at Wrestling Evolution.
Now, let me ask you this. Is that a championship match?
It is for the Legacy Champion. Yes, sir. It's going to be the first title defense that I've had so far.
Gotcha. I like the beer. I like him, but I got to say, I hope you don't hate me for this, but I hope JKA I hope you take him out. I hope you retain him.
I hope I can too. He's a big guy, and he's definitely got a lot of knowledge and experience on me that I'm hoping I can learn a little bit from.
There you go. Missy says, oh, here we go. Who do you think has the best mullet, Charles Fuller or you?
Well, I'm the mullet. I'm the only mullet that actually is relevant, but my hair is no longer a mullet, so it's more just long hair. I'll brush it sometimes, and it gives me Macho Man vibes.
Great stuff. Oh my goodness. She says, am I going to say you have came a long? Oh, she says you've came a long way. And when I heard you won the Legacy belt, I was very proud of you. That's awesome.
I appreciate it, Missy. Thank you very much. You're one of the few people who saw me at the beginning when I had no future in this business. So I'm really glad I was able to prove a lot of people wrong who said that.
Oh, you've done amazing. You've done amazing. You know, you've been through hell and high water when it comes to Allentown. You stood by them through thick and thin, then turned right around, got done really crappy, and now you're on top. Exactly where you need to be. Exactly where you need to be. You know, and we're glad to see you there. I tell you, we really are. And I'm sure. Oh, you're very welcome. I think the fans are going to be piling in March the 15th because they're going to be there to support you and root you on to retain that title for sure.
Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. I hope so.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. You know, another. Hey, tell us, do you ever get to go by? And I did want to bring this up for Mr. Wilcox, the Wrestling Evolution Training Center. Do you ever get to go by there?
Man, I think I've gone down there a couple of times since he opened it up. I really enjoy it down there. Listen, dude, I, I tell this to anybody who ever asks. I think Tim Wilcox is one of the best up and coming promoters in the Carolinas, and Wrestling Evolution is a company I'm very proud to be a part of. You know, he talked about it on Facebook today after I won the championship. He had no intention of ever booking me at Evolution. And my trainer, well, one of my trainers, JD Drake, messaged him and said, "Hey, you know, give my kid a chance. You know, he's not going to let you down." And then he had booked me for a show in February. Mason broke his foot last January, and I took his spot on one of the January show last year. And it's just been every month I've been there, and I'm just so grateful for the opportunity. So grateful that he put his trust and faith in me, and hopefully he hasn't regretted it so far.
There you go. There you go. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'll tell you what, we're going to take a short little commercial break, and we'll be right back, Justin.
Sounds good, man.
This is 4-Foot Batman. And 4-Foot Batman knows the home of great collectibles at awesome prices. Retro toys and collectibles, movie memorabilia, Magic the Gathering cards, wrestling figures, Hot Wheels, the always popular Funko Pops, and much, much more. He knows the Hall of Collectibles is located in downtown Cherryville, North Carolina, at 400 East Main Street. Give them a call today, 980-989-5181. Retro Toys and Collectibles, the heavyweight champion in collecting.
Hey, you're looking at the face of the future of professional wrestling, New York's own Nikki Chooch, and you're watching WrestleCast Podcast with a good friend of mine, the Cowboy, Bobby Lee. So shut your mouths, sit back, and enjoy.
I'm a man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission.
I tell you what, Nikki Chooch, he's something else. That would be a good match to watch you wrestle that guy. Oh man, I would love to see Nikki at Wrestling Evolution.
Oh yeah, man, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Missy said, she says Tim Wilcox is amazing. Yes, he is. He runs an awesome promotion. Exciting matches every time you go up there. I mean, it's just you have a great time. You never leave there not talking about the show that you had. And I'm gonna tell you, the 15th, everybody talked about you when they left there. I promise you that. Everybody. There were people still not. You seen how it was, Justin? They didn't want to leave. They wanted to. You retired. You had just worked your tail off. They still want to shake your hand. The fans want to do what the fans got to do.
Man, I'm telling you, that was one of the coolest nights of my life, and something I'll never forget.
No, you'll be able to hold that one forever, and that is awesome. And you deserved it. You deserved every bit of it. Missy says, Justin, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Hopefully under contract, but hey, you never know. As long as I'm healthy and happy, I'm not going to complain with what God has in plan for me.
There you go. There you go. Great answer. Tell us about your AEW experience, by the way. Congratulations on that.
Thank you, man. That was another one of those moments that I'm never going to forget. It was really cool. I'm very grateful I had that opportunity. it was definitely one of those things like I'm never gonna forget. The same with winning the legacy championship. It was something you dream about when you're a kid. Sitting in the locker room, I got to meet some of the coolest wrestlers and some of the best wrestlers in the world. Guys like Will Ospreay, MJF, Chris Jericho. Like I'm very grateful I had that experience in my life.
That is amazing. That's very amazing. There's so many people out there in the crowd. They would love to be able to meet those guys.
Right.
So to have that opportunity, that was awesome. I got a good question that I think I want to ask you, and that is, are you concerned about Mason interfering March the 15th?
Man, I'll tell you, honestly, it hasn't crossed my mind, not even in the slightest. I think after everything that went down on February 15th, there's a moment in the ring where me and him just had this look at one another, and I feel like it was a little bit of mutual respect being created. Maybe that's naiveness, but at the end of the day, that's still my brother. That's still somebody I consider my best friend. Hopefully, I'm not wrong, and he doesn't come and interrupt that match. But I'd like to think that there's a little bit of mutual respect there after everything that we put each other through that night.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we're definitely going to be there to see it. Missy says, who do you think you have learned the most from?
I'll tell you the the four people I've learned the most are the four people that I credit for being my trainers in this business. That is JD Drake, Rob Killjoy, Bob Keller, and I'm sorry, George South. Sorry, I got caught in mouth for a second. But those are the four people I credit for training me, and the four people that I'm so grateful I've been able to learn from.
That's awesome. I actually grew up down the road from George. Great guy.
Oh, absolutely. Best,
yeah.
man.
And full of knowledge and has no problem giving you ins and outs, talking to you, telling you some things. I love that personality. I love the kind of guy that he is, and he's been in the business a long, long time. So,
right.
Yeah, it's good to get some
tell
information.
Everybody who will listen, the ways to get in with George is just to be a good person. That's all he really wants. He wants to see people who really want it.
That's exactly right. That's the truth. And one thing about George he can definitely tell if somebody's putting on a front. He's been in the business long enough.
Right.
He knows if somebody's, pulling his chain or whatever. So, if you come direct to him, he'll be straight up with you and he'll help you out. I got to see him up there in NAWA one time, and actually was like, "Hey, man, it's been a while," and he's like, "Yeah," And when I brought up where we grew up at, he was like, "Yeah, that has been a long, long time." Because he's just done so much traveling, And that's another thing I want to talk about real quick. You guys do.
Getting a text from George on a random day and him just saying, "Hey, buddy, I love you. I'm praying for you. It means the world."
Yes. You guys, I was going to say, you guys do so much traveling. That's another thing I tell these fans. Hey, guys, get out there. Take the time to drive and see these guys. They put forth so much effort into, going 2, 3, 4 hours out of y'all's way to go to a match to entertain the fans. And, it becomes stressful sometimes. It takes a lot of strain on you, So, I always like to tell the fans, get out there and go see these guys. That's why I wanted you to, talk about that match that you were going to be back in this Friday. And then we got the match coming up on 15th. Definitely want the fans to get out there and see you. If they haven't got to see you, which I don't know why they wouldn't have, they sure need to. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Missy says, George is a good guy. Yes, he is. He is a good guy.
George is one of the best, man. I'm so grateful for him. I'm grateful for Rob, grateful for Bob and JD. They've all done a lot just to help me in so many different ways, and ways I'll never be able to explain to anybody. Unless I write a book one day, but then they'll probably kill me if I tell the stuff I had to promise not to tell.
Well, I tell you what, it sure sounds like you're very humble, and that's always a good thing in this business. You see some guys get the big head, and they don't last long.
Man, I'll tell you, one more thing about Rob and JD. I remember when I started training with them 2 years ago, I was told by so many people that they were not going to care about me. They weren't going to treat me right. But, dude, all those people were idiots, and I'm so grateful for both of them. They've opened doors for me. They've been there. They've supported me. When I broke my wrist, they were checking on me constantly every single day, multiple times during the day. And I love both of those guys more than anything. And I'm telling you, like, I wouldn't be here right now without training with JD and Rob.
There you go. There you go. Missy says, and to be on top and help put the ring up. A Bojangles biscuit helps as well, right?
Right. A Bojangles biscuit, a Dr. Pepper, and a pack of Blaze barbecue chips is all George wants.
There you go. There you go.
Not to be a goof. Don't be a
And
goof.
you know what? That also goes for Justin, those Dr. Peppers.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this, and you're gonna be the first person I tell this. If I beat the Beer City Bruiser that night, I'll drink my last Dr. Pepper. I'm making that promise.
You heard it here, folks. Right here on WrestleCast Podcast, be the last Dr. Pepper he drinks. We're going to watch it take place because we know that Justin Kendrick Allen is going to win and retain that championship.
I'm that confident in myself that I think, that'll be the last Dr. Pepper I'll ever drink.
There you go. There you go.
Counting zero sugar Dr. Pepper.
Missy says, also, if folks don't know, Justin can also do a great poster as well.
Justin can do a lot of posters. Man, I do posters for a lot of companies in the Carolinas.
That's awesome. That's very awesome. Heck yeah. I've dabbled in it a little bit,
Right.
But, yeah. I can't do like the Wrestling Evolution type posters just yet. We still learning.
Phenomenal job on those.
Yes. They look very, very good. They look very well. I love to get one of the posters every time I go to the show. It's
right.
a good thing, before I know it, the whole back wall is going to be filled with them.
right.
But yeah, I tell you, Justin, I got a picture with you a few months ago. I definitely got to get March 15th. I got to make sure I get one. I want to get one
updated picture, man.
Yeah, I got to get an updated picture. I want to get an updated picture with you holding that Legacy Championship. I'm proud of that. That is awesome. I'm telling you, the excitement that I watched everybody have when you got that 3 count, man, it just takes me back. I was just like mind blown the way everybody responded. They, like I said, they came out of their seats. The whole place was on fire, and that just goes to show how much support you have behind you as far as who you are as a talent, who you are as a wrestler, the people that watch you and support you, and they love you. That's an amazing feeling. It's got to be.
Oh man, let me tell you, Cowboy Bob, it's the best feeling in the world. I remember being a kid, and I would watch Monday Night Raw, and I didn't have a lot of friends in school, so my friends and the people I looked up to were the John Cenas and the Rey Mysterios, and I remember in 2011 when Rey Mysterio won the WWE title, just the way that it made me feel, and me running around my bedroom, running around the house, all excited. And when I first started wrestling, I always told myself, and I told everybody who would listen, like, I'm doing it so that one day there's at least one little kid who I've impacted in that exact same way. And hopefully, if I haven't done it yet, I'll do it in the future because I love this business and I'm so grateful to be a part of it.
There you go. And I did notice that too. I noticed how the children are reacting, and that's an awesome feeling. It's got to be an awesome feeling watching them. They're excited. Their eyes are wide open. They're starstruck, and they're cheering you on. And if somebody hits you, the kids get mad. So
right.
that is a great feeling, I'm sure.
Man, I'll tell you, Chris, I made a post about Chris Vallo, but I didn't mention his son Milo in there. But man, I'm telling you, Milo is my biggest fan, and I love him to death.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Missy says, what did you think about the Cena turn? Yeah, there we go. What did you think about that?
And it died. It died in one night. I couldn't believe it. I watched it like 8 times, and I still didn't believe that it actually happened.
We were watching it, and I was just, my son was like, "Dad, my mind is blown right now."
It's not to quote FTR, but it's a day that it's going to live in wrestling infamy.
Yes, yes. Uh, I'm curious. I'm curious to see what happens and transpires from now on. As far as this goes, and is he going to be making surprise appearances? Is he going to be? I know he's not going to be a regular. He's got so much going on in his life.
Right.
But yeah, I'm very eager to see what happens. And I'll tell you something else. What about CM Punk on Monday Night Raw?
Oh man, listen, I'll tell anybody who will listen too. CM Punk's my favorite wrestler. He always has been, always will be. It's him. It's AJ Styles. It's Sting. Like those are the three that I made it a big point last year to go to Sting's last match. I was really, really happy when AJ came back at the Rumble, and I remember being at WrestleCade the night that CM Punk came back to WWE, and I think I made everybody around me really mad because I was screaming like a kid in a candy store. It was CM Punk he's a phenomenal wrestler. He's definitely somebody who I've always been able to look at and say, I want to be like that guy. Even if a
Yeah,
lot of people don't think he's the best guy, I think he's just, people don't like being told when they're wrong.
yeah. I was mind blown. I mean, I come out of my seat. Well, I come out of off my couch. I was like, "Oh Lord, he's gotten real, real fast." He wasn't holding back at all, and that fight between him and Rollins was just mind blowing.
Oh, it was awesome, man.
Yeah, it was. Missy's got a good question right here, Justin. She says, if you're in a bar fight and you can only choose 4 guys to back you, who are those 4 guys?
Oh man, I guess I'm about to lose that bar fight. No, man, I think I'd pick Chris Vallow, Zuka King, John Schuyler, and Robert Allen.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. I like Robert. Robert's a great guy. Great guy. Yeah, that's a good thing. There you go. That's good 4 people right there, Missy. That's 4 good people.
That's 4. That's 4 people. That's 4 people who I would definitely go into a bar fight with, and I think we'd have a pretty good chance of winning.
There you go. There you go. Me personally, I don't want to have the bar fights. I'm gonna stay behind the camera. Let y'all guys handle all of that stuff.
Right.
But no, yeah, that is good for good people. And that's when I get there, I'd like to. I got to get with Robert too, and actually get another updated picture with him too. Matter of fact, all y'all guys, it's been a while since I've done that. I get up there, and then sometimes I just get so wound up, or I'm doing things, or I'm here and there, or people's talking to me, and I get caught up. So it was a nice feeling to be able to shoot backstage real quick and give you a congratulations. I know you guys were tired and busy, and didn't want to interrupt. Just want to make that real quick, and that meant a lot to me to be able to do that. Like I said, what a heck of a show you guys put on, man. I just, I think that show that match stole the night in my book, and I think in a lot of people's books. Y'all went all out. I mean, completely all out. You could tell the pain, you could tell the aggression. It was just all there, and you didn't hold back, and it was amazing. And I commend you so much for that. And again, on the win, I can't say it enough. Justin Kindred Gallagher, folks, the legacy champion for Wrestling Evolution. Well deserved and well earned. Here we go. Missy says, what is your Mount Rushmore in independent and WWE?
Okay, so in WWE, it is definitely Cena, Rock, Austin, Hogan, even though I don't prefer Hogan as a person. In independent wrestling, I'm going to go CM Punk, Kevin Steen, El Generico, and AJ Styles. I'm going to go AJ Styles.
Okay. All right. Not bad. Not bad.
If I could add a 5th person to the indie one, it would definitely be Samoa Joe.
Yeah, Samoan Joe. Man, I've always enjoyed his work, no matter where he was. And
Right.
he is really his in ring work is amazing.
Phenomenal. His mic works phenomenal. He's a phenomenal talent.
It takes a lot. That's another thing too. It takes a lot when you're in this business. You've got to be a good speaker. You've got to be able to get on that mic. You've got to be able to do your promos. You've got to be able to talk. And so it's not just doing your in ring work. There's so much that goes into this that you guys do that is just amazing. That's the fans they see that big picture, but they don't see all that hard work sometimes that y'all having to do behind the scenes. And it's very, in my book, it's very well appreciated.
And I'll tell you, I'll message JD Drake ideas for promos that I'll have, and he'll send me a 2-minute voice clip of him cutting a promo, but like better than I could even dream of, and he's cutting my promo for me, and it just makes me so mad when he does it.
Yeah, but that's still cool though. You can think about it. That's pretty cool.
Bro,
that he
yeah,
does
it's
that.
awesome, man.
Yeah. Missy said, "Hey Tim, Chris Thunder Anderson said, very proud of where you are now in the wrestling journey. You've come a long way. You deserve to be where you are."
Thank you, Chris. That means a lot, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. See, man, I'm telling you, people, you got the support. You got the support, Justin. I know you're going to bring and retain that championship. Beer City Bruiser, you got your hands full. You got your hands full come March the 15th. And once again, because I wanted to say this, folks, Justin, very busy guy. Very busy guy. Got a lot going on. If y'all folks don't realize it and can tell, he's not in the dark just to be in the dark. Justin is actually driving. He's taking the time to do WrestleCast podcast from the driver's seat while he's going down the road. Yes, extremely dangerous. We do not recommend that. But we definitely greatly appreciate it. So we're going to be wrapping up soon so we can let Justin go. But we greatly, greatly appreciate you coming on the show, Justin, and doing what you do and spending time with us here at WrestleCast Podcast. And before we go, I do want to say this. I've got a special segment. It's not like some of these podcasts out here. I have a special segment, and it is all because, and I say this every show, it is all because of Roughneck. And at the end of the show, we have a segment called I'm About to Hurt Someone's Feelings. And that person, you have to hurt somebody's feelings. And that may be whoever you're facing with your tag team partner come Friday night. So we're going to put you full screen, and we're going to let you hurt somebody's feelings.
Oh, man, let me just go ahead and hurt Mason's feelings because Mason's the scum of the earth. You're supposed to be my brother, and yet you took everything. You took my legacy championship, or you tried to. Oh, that's right, buddy. That's right. I took your legacy championship. Oh, I got it backwards. Oopsie. But, Mason, you tried so hard to keep this from me, and you're just a slimy little snake, and I'm just so glad that I don't have to deal with you anymore. You're in the past, and you're going to stay in the past, buddy.
Folks, you heard it right here on WrestleCast Podcast. The man told him like it is, and that's what we do. We're going to get the dirt, and Justin didn't have a problem letting Mason know. And not only that, he showed Mason. You see the championship? He's got it all nice and shiny right there. It's in his possession. He earned it. He's the man. Justin is the man. And I'll tell you right now, Justin, before you get out of here, I gotta ask you for a favor, and that favor is we gotta have that JKA. Yep.
I got you, brother. Yep.
I love it. Folks, we appreciate y'all guys so much. Don't forget to check out Justin, Kendrick, Allen, May the 15th at Wrestling Evolution at Cross Country Campground, and it's in Denver, North Carolina. That show will start at 7 o'clock. The doors are open at 6. Justin, if you'll tell them where your next show's again, one more time on Friday for us.
Yeah, man, this Friday I'll be at APW Chester in Chester, South Carolina. It's going to be me and Christopher Prince defending the APW Chester Tag Team Championships against the Illuminati, Myrick Moore and Derek Driver. And then this Saturday at DCW in Raleigh, North Carolina, against a big man in Duke O'Connor.
There you go, folks. Don't miss it. Get yourself down there and watch Justin in action. And it's like I always say, if you got plans, you're going to want to break them, because this is WrestleCast Podcast, and this is the place to be. Thank you, Justin. You take care. Be safe, brother.
Thank you, man. You too.
Won't waste another minute, no, I won't. I'm a man on a mission.